What if your greatest fear was 10 times worse? That is essentially Huntsman for me. Hello everybody, my name is Gamma B and I am talking about Huntsman. I had recently just played it on stream, and this is a non-scripted video, by the way, just letting you know. I am notoriously terrified of spiders. Always have been. So I am going to be doing a little mini review to break up the months of no uploads because I am a lazy YouTuber. But I just played it on stream. I just played Huntsman on stream, and it's a fun game that has some really good scares, but it falls short in quite a few categories. And I've never really done a review before. So I'm not obviously gonna go in guns blazing saying, fuck your game, you suck, and I hope you never make games again. No, that's not what I want. I want you to know, whoever is watching this, the person who made the game, the people who want to play the game, I want to be here to let you know that it's a cool game. It's got some good spooks, and I want to talk about the things that I didn't like that ruined the experience, and I want to talk about things that I really like that amplified the experience. So let's go. This is going to be my review, my little short mini review of Huntsman. So obviously I'd like to start with the pros rather than the cons. I'm not particularly interested in just talking about the negative stuff. As fun as that would be, I don't want to be an asshole, so I'm not going to be an asshole. First of all, the story, I guess you could say, or lack thereof. I don't know what is really going on in this game. Supposedly, I think from what I can tell, I'm a security guard. I'm trying to do this review without learning everything about the game. I'm trying to do it based on my experience. And in my experience, I thought I was like a janitor or some kind of security guard working a night shift or something. So I was going to go do security in a Five Nights at Freddy's style office with giant switches and oh, giant spider. Whoa. Oh, that got freaky fast. So apparently this lab at Adderton Labs or something like that, I guess they're making giant spiders. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I picked up a few of the notes in the game, and it mostly just talks. It's mostly just guidance. There was one key card I had to get, and it was like a note talking about this one person keeps forgetting their key card in their room, and then my brain is like, okay, well, fucking the key card I need is in the room. Simple as that. Most of the time, I didn't really know what was going on in terms of the story. Like, it was freaky for sure, you know, big scary building, big scary monster, shenanigans ensue, but I like there to be a little bit of story. And so if there was some kind of purpose to these giant spiders, fantastic. I'd love that. I would love to know why they're making these giant spiders so that I can be even more creeped out with the heebie-jeebies. There's a lot of story stuff that is very interesting, like the amount of emphasis that the spiders cannot get out of the building no matter what. I'm assuming because, you know, that would lead to giant spider outbreak in the real world or in the outside world. And so, you know, the story was kind of lacking in that regard. I didn't really know what was going on besides the fact that I was in a scenario with a giant spider and giant spiders. But speaking of the giant spider, it looks great. I think whatever model that is of all of the spiders, like there's 4 distinct spiders in the game, and they all made my skin crawl. Like, oh my God. Spiders are definitely my greatest fear. Roll the clip.
By the way, do you have a clip? Ah!
Roll the clip again. So seeing these giant spiders moving like actual spiders made me shit my pants multiple times. And that was good. But as great as the models are, they're very glitchy. So they just kind of look weird, crawling along walls and stuff. Not to mention going over corners. Like you can very much tell that they're models are made to walk on flat surfaces, and I don't know if these are models that you made, the developer made, or if these are models that you found on Unity and increased their size and gave them an enemy AI or something. But yeah, they're very jank. And I particularly remember running into the Huntsman for the first time, and all of the fear got ruined because it just kind of glitched through the wall, and so I could just see like half of it sticking its ass end out of the wall. And that wasn't, you know, I'm not nitpicky in that regard, but it definitely was like, it would have been a lot scarier if the spider just stayed on the wall or something. And maybe that was just random chance, you know, maybe that was just a rare instance of that happening, but still, it took me out of the horror pretty quickly. The mechanics for the game are very simple. It's usually go to place, get thing, deal with spider while trying to get thing. And you can throw items to distract spider. It's very simple. Like, there's not much depth to it. And granted, I don't expect there to be a lot of depth. It was released by OnTheHouse Studios, which it's actually quite hard to find information about OnTheHouse Studios. All I know is that OnTheHouse Studios is a possibly solo developer or a couple people developer. So I understand if it's your first game that the mechanics wouldn't exactly be the most fleshed out thing in the universe. I think it's fine. Like, I think being able to just toss items and distract the spider is great. It's a little too easy of a solution sometimes. Like, there were a few times where it was very easy to just keep the Huntsman off me just by throwing random shit across the room. And, you know, that's fine. I don't think, you know, this isn't like some AAA thing. I think it's very simple. It was a cheap game. I got it for like $10 on sale. And it was a good time, you know, like it was pretty smooth sailing. I think I beat it in under 2.5 hours-ish, roughly. But another thing I should probably mention is the onboarding for the game was very confusing. So there were two instances I remember very specifically at the start of the game. The switches in the security office and the glass in the reception area. In the reception area, I didn't know I needed to break the glass. Because I couldn't see it. Has the game, like, registered that I have these? So it's not, I don't have to, oh. What? I would go on the offensive here. Here's the thing. What? What the fuck? I just had to break something on it. That's why there was glass? Apparently there was a glass pane over these keys I needed to grab, and I couldn't see the key. I couldn't see the glass. So I just thought the game was wigging out, and I restarted the game because I was like, well, I guess it's just a glitch. That sucks. I don't know if it's just a Unity thing or what, but it confused the hell out of me. I didn't know I needed to break glass until I accidentally threw something at it and broke the glass. And the switches in the security office, I didn't understand that it was like a system of, oh, you turn two on and you can't turn the other two on because power. I thought it was like, I went to turn on all the switches and two of them didn't work. So I was like, oh, okay, well then it must be, the switches are broken or I gotta fix them or something. Why does it have no power? Why does it have no power? What is this fucking... Reception, security hall. So am I like, is this like night shift security? Oh, this is stupid. This is stupid. Okay, I get it now. This is dumb. They didn't explain that at all. I didn't realize that it was like its own mechanic where I had to balance. I could only have two switches open at one time, which ultimately it was almost like they were trying to do something with that and then didn't really. Like, I just kept the two open that were the most necessary to keep open, and that was it. I didn't touch them again. I think in terms of the concept, I think it's a fantastic idea. A lot of horror games are very scary because they have this monster that you don't understand, and it's freaky because it's going raw and it's chasing after you. But with Huntsman, it takes advantage of a very human fear. It's very scary because humans are like innately afraid of spiders. So it's really good horror. It's really good fear factor to be like, instead of some, because this game could have totally just been like some monster or something, or monsters in a facility like Resident Evil style, but it wasn't. It was a company is making giant spiders, and that's pretty freaky. That's pretty scary, especially when they fucking get out. There's one particular moment that I just want to talk about, is having to sneak through the terrarium. Oh my god, how horrifying the idea of having to sneak through a spider-filled terrarium, and you're tiny. Like, it was terrifying. Oh, it was so scary. Another thing I should probably mention is that there wasn't really much to the jump scares or the music. So the atmosphere was great for sound. Like, you know, hearing the pitter patter of the Huntsman running around was really freaky, but there was no music. There was no like ambiance at all or anything like that. Like, it was just silence. And that was kind of lame, but it wasn't like a game killer. Like, I wasn't like, oh, this is stupid because there's no music. It was just like, whatever, there's no music. And the jump scares. The jump scares are very subpar. They just kind of happen, and your character goes, oh. Okay. It's hard to say what a jump scare should be, because if it's loud and annoying, then people say it's, you know, obnoxious. But if it's silent, then it doesn't really feel like it feels like a jump scare as it builds up and then boom, you know. But with Huntsman, it was like it built up and then it was just like it just fizzled out kind of thing. If that makes any sense. I liked it. I would say it's a good game. Especially for like a first time game. Like, I'm not a game developer at all. I just like playing video games, and I like reviewing video games and learning about video games and all this stuff. And I like to be fair with video games because, you know, it's hard to make video games sometimes. And this game was clearly made with love and passion. And granted, you know, maybe this was something the developer worked on while they were going to work, or maybe it was something they were working on after school every day or something. Like, this is a good game for a first time game. It just is like, you know, it's freaky, spooky. And I would love to learn more about like the development cycle, but I can't really seem to find too much information on them, besides like they have an itch.io page. They have a Discord, which I don't really feel bothered enough to join the Discord. One more thing I should talk about. The last thing I should talk about that I think adds a lot of charm and fear to the game is a variety of spiders. Because I know the game is called Huntsman, and a lot of the early like demo footage, it's just the Huntsman spider. There's none of the big spiders. There's a total of 4 spiders in the game, while your main adversary is kind of the Huntsman, while you're dealing with the other ones, mostly. So there's the Huntsman, there's golden orb weaver spiders, or banana spiders, or garden spiders, whatever you want to call them. There's a tarantula, and then there's the trapdoor spiders. And I think all of them are great additions to the game. I think that's a smart thing to do, to take types of spiders and how they behave and integrate them into obstacles, because that was probably the best part about the game, is each spider had a unique way of movement and how it played and how it affected the environment around you, that you had to think about it. So, you know, the Huntsman would roam, the Huntsman would react to sound, the golden orb weavers were like they would hang on the ceilings and block your paths. The tarantula would set up webs that you had to sneak through, and if you hit a web, it would know where you are. And the trapdoor spiders would limit where you can go, and if you even fucking notice there's a trapdoor there. And it was just I think that's probably honestly the best part about the game, and the smartest part about the game is the fact that the variety of spiders meshes so well with the environment around you and how, you know, how that affects how you traverse through each area. I think that was the best part of the game, by far. By far. It was awesome. So that was, I think that's gonna do it for my review on Huntsman. There's not really much else to say besides it's a good game. If you don't like spiders and you like being scared, I think this is a fantastic game. And it's short, it's cheap. Mostly, I think the price is a little much for, like, I got it on sale because it was normally like 17 bucks or something, and I got it for like 10. And 17 is a little steep for a game of this quality. And that probably has to do with the fact why the reviews on Steam are so mixed is because it's probably too expensive. If the game was cheaper, I think a lot more people would buy it and a lot more people would be into it. But most people probably play the demo and they get what they, you know, they get their spooks and then they leave, and that's all they need. There's a lot to this game, while also simultaneously not being a lot. Like, it's almost, it's nice how simple it is, but at the same time, I hope we get more of it. I hope we maybe get some more updates, more spiders, more areas. I don't know. Maybe the developer's completely done with the game. Who knows? But anyways, I will give this game like a solid, like 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10 if I'm feeling generous. It's a good game. It is. It just needs some polish, and it's a little too expensive. So I really hope you don't judge me too harshly for complaining about your game. I enjoyed it. So guys, if you want, go check out Huntsman on Steam. It's a pretty fun little spooky game.